What is going on, fellow farmers? CJ Farms here. Welcome back to another beginner's guide tutorial on FS25. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about making silage. Now, before we get started in this video, I do want to say, because I got a lot of negative comments the last time I did this for FS22. Now, the normal way that you make silage on the game is you would cut grass, pick it up, put it into a silo bunker like that right down there, throw the blanket over it for a minute. But what happens when you throw that blanket over it? What does it turn the grass into first before it goes to silage? It turns it into hay. It dries it out. So, I'm going to show you guys how to make silage and how to speed up the process under the silo blanket by using a tedder. With a lot of testing and a lot of gameplay experience, this method does work. So before anybody comes to my comment section saying, don't use that, why do you do that? Why do you do it this way? Do it this way instead. Don't do it that way. You have the option of making your own YouTube channel. Besides, I didn't ask you. I never asked your opinion, okay? So, with that said, we're going to need a few things to make silage. First of all, you're going to need a mower. Doesn't matter what kind of mower you have. You're also going to need a forage wagon to pick up your hay or your grass, whichever way you want to do it. You may or may not need a windrower depending on what mower you use. All right. And then you're going to need some kind of silo compaction tool, and you're going to need a tedder for this. You may or may not, depending on if you want to speed up the process or not. Okay. So with that said, let's go to the store and let's look up our mowers by going to Grassland, which is going to be somewhere down here. So right here, guys, mowers. Now, if you use these types of mowers here, you're going to have the windrower, okay? If you use these types of mowers, any of these mowers right here, besides this one, you'll have to use the windrower because it does not have a swath chop option on it. However, the Chrome mower Big M 450 does have a swath chop option, which means you can change this from right swath to left swath to widespread or swath chopping. If you use a tedder on your grass to speed up the process, you're going to have a windrower. If you do not use a tedder on your grass, you will not need a windrower, okay? So keep that in mind. All right, let's back out. The next thing you're going to need is a forage wagon right here, this forage wagon. These are the forage wagons you can choose from. This is the one I'm using right here. Now keep in mind, if you use the silage additive tank, which puts those little bad boys on there like that, if you put those on there, make sure that you go over to consumables and get the silage additive and put it in your forage wagon before you do any work with it, okay? Again, though, you don't have to use that. It's not a must. You don't have to use it. It's just an extra feature they added in the game to make it look cool. Okay, I recommend leaving that off. I don't ever use it, but you can use it if you want. It's up to you. However, again, if you use it, make sure you go to consumables and get the silage additive right here. You can get these in bulk all the way up to 8, okay? The next thing you're going to need is going to be, I think I might have covered everything here. Let me see. So we need to look at windrowers. These are your windrowers here. This is the one I'm using right here, okay? You can pick any one of these windrowers if you decide to use it, okay? If you decide to use it. If you decide to use a tedder, you're going to have this, okay? If not, you don't need this, all right? Keep that in mind. I want to make that very clear. These are your tedders. If you decide to use one to speed up the process, this is the one I'm using right here, okay? Let's go back. And the last thing you're going to need to look at is a silo compaction. These are the ones I'm using. Now, I get 2 of these. I get one for the front of my tractor and one for the back of my tractor because it compacts the grass or hay, however you're going to make it, inside of the silo bunker, okay? Now, last but not least, you guys are going to need one of these right here, which is going to be a silo bunker. This is what you're going to use to put your grass or your hay in to make your silage, okay? If you go back into the store, go down to others, and go to construction. All right? And you guys can see mine right there. Let me move over just a little bit. Go like this. If you go in here and go to where sheds are and go over one, you will see your silo bunkers right here. All right. Now you can pick any which one of these that you want. It doesn't matter. They all work the same. Some of them are bigger. Some of them are smaller. It just depends on you. Okay. What you like. Just for the sake of this tutorial, I did the small one, and you would just place it down. Okay. That's all you got to do. That's literally it. All right. So let's get started. And I do have a little bit of grass left over on the field over here from my last tutorial where I showed you guys how to cut your grass and how to make hay. Now, the first thing we're going to do is to get this process started is we have to cut the grass, okay? Now, let me make this very clear. In this specific mower right here, no other mower has this ability except for this one as far as I know. I have not tested the other mowers in this game, but from what I know from past experience, the other mowers do not have the swath dropping ability. Only this Krone mower does, okay? So, if you use the swath drop on this, all right, then you do not have to use a windrower. However, if you use the swath drop ability on this mower, you do not have to use a windrower. However, if you use the swath drop on this and then you use a tedder to turn it into hay, you will need a windrower, okay? So get a windrower just in case. So I'm going to show you guys how to do the swath drop on this. What you're going to do is if you look up there in my window, you're going to see where it says toggle work mode. All right. That is left control Y. Now, if I hit that, you're going to see it go from widespread to swath dropping to left swath, right swath, back to widespread. Now, widespread is just going to put the grass everywhere, in which you will have to have a windrower. And you're going to need one if you use the tedder. If you do not, I want to make this very clear. If you do not use the tedder, you will not need a windrower. But if you use the tedder, you will need a windrower, okay? So you'll see that change. We're going to go to swath dropping just like that. And you will notice that when I start cutting the grass, just like so, it's going to put it into a perfect swath. And I don't know why it keeps missing things and why that mower keeps jumping up like that on me. There we go. That one mower on that one side keeps wanting to jump up in the air and miss things. But that's what it's going to do. That's what swath dropping does. It just puts it all in a row for you to begin with, okay? And we don't need a lot here. I'm just going to do a couple of rows here. We get this thing turned around. But tedding your grass before you put before you put it into the silo bunker does speed up the process, because when you put the grass, if you put just plain grass, let's say you just put plain grass into the silo bunker, okay, and you throw a fermenting blanket over it, what happens to that grass what happens to that grass after you put a silo blanket over? What happens to it? It first dries it out into hay and then turns it into silage. So why not go ahead and do a step ahead, ted it, and then drop it into your silo bunker? Chris Jones just subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you subbing just as I'm doing a video. So we're going to go ahead and fold this up. That's literally all you need. Really, all we need is just one. Oh, look at me. We just need one. We just need one row for silage. To be honest about it, that's all we need is one row. We don't need two rows. I'm going to grab both rows with the forage wagon and put it in there. So let me park this right here. I'm going to hop out. We're going to jump into this tractor. All right. Oh, actually, before we do that, now, with the way that I do it, I will ted the grass first. Then I will windrow it, and then I will pick it up with the forage wagon, okay? So, I'm going to jump into this tractor here. I'm going to unhook this. Unhook it. And we are going, now before we windrow it, because if you windrow it first and then you ted it, you're going to have to windrow twice, okay? So just go ahead, grab your tedder. Just like so. we're going to go over here and we're going to open this thing up and we're going to start tedding this grass. I'm going to try to get both rows at the same exact time. And I'm pretty sure I can get them both. Oh yeah, we can get them. I just don't want to hit that pole on my way through. Now we're going to drop it down. We're going to turn it on. We're going to ted this grass. Just like so. And this goes ahead and turns it into hay for you. Now you can go ahead and just get the grass the way it is, plain grass. Put it in your forage wagon. Throw it in the silo bunker. It's going to make silage either way. The only difference is that when you ted the grass before you pick it up, you're speeding up the process because, again, I will explain this. When you turn it into hay before you throw it in there, okay, it speeds the process up because when you put plain grass, when you just put plain grass into the silo bunker and you cover it with a fermenting blanket, it first has to go from grass, then it dries it into hay, and then it dries it into silage. Right? So tedding it, making it into hay already before it's in there, will put it a step ahead. All right, we're going to drop that right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab the windrower and we're going to go over there and we're going to put it on a row. Now the windrower is just simply for the fact, it's just for the simple fact that it puts it into a perfect, beautiful row for you. That way you're not driving all over the place trying to get every little piece of hay or grass, however you decide to do it, off the ground, okay? So I'm going to show you what I mean here. These are actually pretty cool, and I really like these windrowers. They're really helpful tools. All right, we're going to get that out. We're going to drop it down, and we're going to get both rows here as we go, and we're going to put all that into one beautiful row. Now, you may not get all of it sometimes, but as long as you get most of it, you'll be good to go. As you can see back there, I missed a little bit on the side, but it's okay. It's okay. It's not going to hurt nobody. All right, so we're going to put this into a perfect row, like I said right there, guys. See, I'm not getting all of it, but that's okay because there is some little parts that you can get the forage wagon and go back and get. You surely can't be too lazy to do it that way. Okay, just a few little spots, not going to kill you. All right, like that right there. We got that part. As you guys can see, most of it is in a row. However, there's a few spots I'll have to go back and get with the forage wagon, but not that big of a deal because it's part of work. It's part of doing it. All right. So we're going to park this back over here. We're going to release that right there, and we are now going to grab the forage wagon. Okay. I'm going to hook up to this. Now, when you hook this up, I recommend, and I'm sure people argue with me about this too, I recommend putting this forage wagon all the way down to the ground. Okay, and I'm going to show you why. If you pick it up, you drop the wheels down, you notice they're not really touching the ground. See that? They're not really all the way on the ground, but when you lower it, see that pickup is on the ground. It's definitely going to get that hay or grass, however you decided to do it. So we're going to take this over here. We're going to open the lid. And I do love these forage wagons because when you're picking up your grass or your hay, whatever you're picking up, you can actually see it go into the trailer, and I think that's a really cool feature. So we're going to back up here a little bit. Now, you have to turn this wagon on. We're going to turn it on. And if your rows are too wide, sometimes you won't get every single bit of it, but it's okay. You can always go back and pick it up when you're done. All right, so we're going to pick all this hay up. And again, tedding it before you pick it up and put it into the silo bunker will in fact speed up the process of turning it into silage. Okay? And you can go ahead, you can put plain grass in there, but it's going to take it longer for your grass to turn into silage. It'll take it longer. So just keep that in mind, guys. I would recommend cutting your grass and then tedding it and then windrowing it, picking it up with a forage wagon, and then putting it into your silo bunker. Okay? We're going to pick this up right here. And I'm just going to get this last little bit. I'm not going to get like every little piece, but I'm going to get a majority of it. That's probably plenty for silage right there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take this over. Now, when you dump it, I recommend tipping it up like that. See? See how it's tipping? You can tip it down, and then you tip it up, okay? Because the further back it's tipped, the faster it's going to flow out. It's just like when you have a front loader and you have something in your bucket. The more you tip that bucket over, the faster it's going to come out of there, okay? Probably should have got a little bit bigger of a silo bunker, but it's okay. We're going to make it work. Now you're going to back this into here just like this. All right. And you are going to look up there, and there should be an option that says unload here. And that's exactly what you're going to do. We're going to start unloading it, and you might want to pull forward a little bit as you're doing this. Just to kind of spread it out a little bit. All right, we got that part. Now, let me park this right here. And let's go grab this. And you're going to have to unfold both of these pieces and drop them down. Just like so. Again, I use 2 of these silo compacting tools because it compacts it a little faster. So if you will look up in the top left corner of the window, you will see compacting. See that? You're going to start running this over just like this. I should have spread out a little more. I should have spread that out way more than what I did, because that is a little difficult to get to. But having two silo compacting tools will definitely compact it a lot quicker. I'm just going to kind of roll back and forth over it here just like this. And then plus having your tires on the tractor, that also helps it compact quicker. There's little tips and tricks you can do to make things speed up. And it just kills me when people come to the chat, into the comments, who've not been playing the game as long as I have, or who just automatically assume they know it. And there's people out there who just know everything about the video at hand. You ever seen those people in those comment sections? All right, we're at 92, and they'll always come in and say something about the video at hand, and they'll always know everything about what's going on. They'll actually know better about what's going on in the video than the person doing the video. All right, so we're going to fold these up. We're going to raise them up. Just like so. We have now got our hay, or however you decide to do it, grass, in the silo bunker. We're going to walk up. We're going to cover it with a blanket. All right. Yes. Do you really want to blanket the silo? 31,396 liters. Yes, we do. Oh, I like the way the silo blankets are going to. This is the first time I'm doing silage in this game. In this game, not in general, just in FS25. All right. So we're going to let that sit. I'm going to speed the time up. Once it ferments into silage, I will then bring you up. Now, if you guys will look right there, fermenting silage 0%, that will go up. Once it gets to 100%, you're good to go. Okay? Once it gets to 100%, I will bring you all back into the video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, not even 24 hours later, and we have 100% silage. What do you know? It speeds up the process. Not even 24 hours later, we have silage. We have it. Okay? We are going to uncover the blanket and see what's underneath. Let's see. It's silage, not even 24 hours later, because we tedded that grass and speeded up the process. That's why. All right. Now, if you do this with grass only, it will take exactly 24 hours to make silage. Okay? So keep that in mind. Now, there's a few things you can do with silage. You can feed it to your cattle, or you can sell it. It's up to you. Okay? However, whatever you decide to do with it, you can bring that forage wagon back in here, and you can do it that way if you have enough room. If you have enough room, you can do it that way. If not, I believe you can use this. I believe you can use this. I will test it right now to make sure. I've never really done it this way, but we will find out. Again, make sure your wagon is all the way down, okay? And then most importantly, make sure that pickup right there is all the way down, okay? So I'm going to try and pull in here and grab some silage into this loading wagon. which I don't know why it wouldn't go in there. It should. There it goes. Common sense goes a long way. It goes a long way. Just knowing that things are going to happen a certain way, it goes a long way. All right? So you can load your silage wagon. I mean, you can load your silage back up into your forage wagon if that's the way you want to do it, or you can get a regular trailer of any type, as long as it holds silage. Bring a front loader or a telehandler. Now, I recommend a telehandler. They have bigger buckets, or a wheel loader. And you can load that into that trailer, and you can take it off and feed it to your cattle. Or, of course, you can either do that, or you can sell it. It's up to you, okay? Now, silage pays for pretty good. It's not too bad. The price is not too bad. As a matter of fact, we'll go into here. We'll go to prices, and we will go to silage. Now, remember, everything in here is alphabetized, so it's very easy to find, okay? So down here, under S's, we are going to go to silage right here. You can sell it at the biogas plant, the buying station, farmer's market. I recommend the farmer's market. That's what I recommend. As you guys can see, it peaks in August. That's the best time to sell it, is in August. Farmer's market is where it's best to sell it at. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to park this over here. I'm going to buy a telehandler with a front loader, but with a telehandler bucket. And I'm going to buy a wheel loader. I'm going to buy a wheel loader and show you guys that those buckets are so much bigger and they're so much better to use. Once I get set up, ladies and gentlemen, I will bring you all back into the video. Ladies and gentlemen, now that we have our Volvo wheel loader, this is what we're going to do. We're going to hop in. Now, the cool thing about these wheel loaders and the buckets, this is probably like the biggest one you can get, one of the biggest ones. But one of the cool things about this is this bucket actually dumps two ways. So we're going to lift it up. I'm going to show you a little trick here. Some people don't know this. All right. You can dump it this way, like a normal loader. And you can also dump it that way. See that? It makes it dump so much quicker. It's so much better. Now we're going to take this. We're going to go over here. And we're going to start scooping up this silage. There we go. We got 100%. I forgot how much I do not like the backup beepers on these Volvos. They are good machines, so I will say that. We're going to lift it up here. And we're going to dump it over just like so. Look at that, how quick it dumps out. Look at that. See that? Now, if you want to know where to get these wheel loaders at, you're going to go to the store. You're going to go right here where the tractors are. Wheel loaders right here. You can buy any one of these wheel loaders. It doesn't matter which one it is. They all work the same, okay? They all work the same. Now, if you want the bucket for it, go down to Wheel Loader Tools. And you can buy either this bucket here. You can buy this bucket here. This one. This one. This one. Or I recommend one of these right here. This is the one that I have, the big boy. The big one. Okay? That's the one that I have, okay? That's the one I recommend. All right, let's go ahead and get the rest of the silage. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to load the rest of the silage up in the trailer. Once I'm done, I'm going to take you guys to the sell point and show you where to sell it at. I will bring you all back into the video. All right, so we've got our silage, our forage wagon. I got all the silage out of that bunker that I possibly could. Apparently, there is more bugs that Giant still needs to work on. Couldn't get all the silage out of the bunker. Just couldn't do it. No matter how I shifted that bucket, no matter how I shaped it, it would not get all the silage out. So, let's hop out of here. And for those that don't know, yes, there is a ferry, a water ferry, in FS25, at least on Riverbend Springs that I know of anyway. Haven't seen if the other maps have that yet. I've been on the other maps. I just haven't seen if they have ferries yet. So we're going to take this over to the farmer's market. And as you guys can see, there's our silage right there. And that's what we got out of the bunker. But it's enough to show you guys where to take it to, where to sell it. So That's all that matters, is that I'm showing you guys how this is done and how it all works. And silage is a very simple process. It doesn't take much. You literally need grass, a mower, a tedder, a windrower, a forage wagon, and a silo bunker. That's all you need. That's really all you need. All right, so we are going to start the tractor up, and we're going to take off, and we're going to climb this big hill and go down the path of righteousness. And we're going to go up here, and we're going to sell this at the farmer's market. Now, I do recommend, if you're playing Riverbend Springs, if I can say that, I recommend, if you're playing Riverbend Springs, to take all of your stuff to the farmer's market. Because if you check the prices, everything sells better at the farmer's market. Now, you can use the trains if you want to. They will also sell there. But the farmer's market sells for higher prices. And you always want to take your crop or whatever you're selling to the place that sells for higher prices. You want to make the more money, right? You want to make more money. You want your prices to be better, and you want your crop to always sell for the top dollar. All right. Now, when you unload from any kind of trailer or forage wagon, if you will look up there in the help window, in my help window, you will see that I have a tractor icon and a trailer and an implement icon. If I hit the G key on the keyboard, it will switch between them. Okay. Now, if I hold down my left bumper and hit the Y, I'm sorry, the right bumper, if I hold down my right bumper and hit the Y, okay, don't hold down no bumpers, just hit the Y on your controller, just like that, and it will also switch between them. Make sure the implement you are dumping from is selected, or it will not dump. And I will show you. I'm going to select the tractor, and I'm going to pull up here. Okay. Now, if I select the implement, boom, there it is. We're going to dump it out. We're going to see how much we make on silage. Of course, I'm a multi-millionaire on here, but I ain't got to worry about it. But I just want to see how much we make on this silage. So $8,000, not too bad. Almost $8,600. That, my friends, is how you make silage. That is how you make silage by grass. That is how you make silage and speed up the process by tedding your grass and putting it into the silo bunker. That is how it's done. With that being said, everyone, that's it. Subscribe if you're new. Smash that like button for me. Click that bell and click all, so you can never miss any future content or live streams. But once we get a majority of the beginner guys tutorials out, I will be starting to do content over here, probably on Riverbend Springs. I'm hoping to see them bring some new maps and some new mods to the game, as they have not been releasing very many mods lately. Just little mods here and there. But I'll be glad when they release like a mass amount of mods and some and above all else, some game-changing mods for the game, like easy development controls. That is a game-changing mod, right? Lumberjack, they have that in the game. That's a game-changing mod. Player speed is a game-changing mod. Save player position is a game-changing mod. With that being said, everyone, subscribe if you're new. Smash that like button for me. Click that bell and click all. I think I already said that. Guys and girls, may Jesus shine in your heart like the brightest star. Until next time, everyone, this is CJ Farms, and one crop at a time, we're helping America grow. I will see you all in the next video.